They gave him his orders at Fern Tree Gully, saying, "Blue, you're way behind time."
It's wind down time on Shane Brooks' property in northeast Victoria's Rubicon Valley.
Well, it's a mighty rough road.
His hobby farm, 2 hours drive from Melbourne, is an escape from the pressures of city life.
It was down that line.
But the tranquility is disappearing. This region is being chipped away at by logging.
Every week it seems to be getting worse. They're sort of clear felling, I think, Mount Nash up there. And the trouble is everyone can see it. It's right in the view of every tourist that comes up here.
Gordon Simpson lives in the nearby town of Alexandra.
Gold was Alexandra's first industry and timber's our second industry. This town was known as a timber town, and it always has been, you know.
His family's run a local petrol station here for 65 years. He estimates almost half his trade comes from logging.
My first job when I walked home from school was cleaning up after the day's work at the sawmill.
But not everyone shares his enthusiasm. Ed Hill is an environmental activist employed by Friends of the Earth.
We monitor logging and we survey areas for threatened species and for other environmental values that are protected by law.
This year, he stumbled on something explosive. It seems some areas that state-owned company Vic Forests has been logging aren't its to log. One area is in the Rubicon State Forest, near Shane Brooks's farm. This is one of the areas that was recently cleared. What do you think looking at it?
Well, it all looks very stark and damaged at the moment, but if it's done properly, then as you can see up there, we've got some regrowth happening, and in 20 years you probably won't see it.
So there's a suggestion that this area here was logged unlawfully. What do you think of that?
Well, that's crazy. That means the government's not managing the area properly.
The Victorian Sustainable Forests Act 2004 states that all timber resources in state forest are the property of the Crown. It's publicly owned. The timber only becomes Vic Forests when the Agriculture Minister sets aside a specified area of land in what's known as an allocation order. Legally, Vic Forests must only harvest or sell timber from within the borders of that allocation. Vic Forests cannot even draw up plans to log areas that sit outside it. If it's not in the order, Vic Forests is taking timber it doesn't own. And under the legislation, that's an offence.
This is illegal logging on a mass scale, and someone needs to be held accountable. And the department have failed in their role as the regulator to hold them accountable for a whole raft of breaches that have not been acted on. They cannot let them get away with this. This is huge.
Data obtained by 730 shows where Vic Forests is allowed to log. Analysis of that data, confirmed by an independent ecology expert, reveals the illegal felling may be more widespread than first thought. Some logging areas spill just outside land it's allowed to log, but there are 17 sites completely outside the Victorian allocation. 27 sites are at least 90% outside, and across the state, almost 1 in 20 trees earmarked for logging are outside the area. That wood ends up in building products and various brands of paper, including Reflex. Other products are exported. Bunnings and Officeworks have taken a strong stance. They say they'll stop using wood from Vic Forests by 2020 unless it passes environmental certification by the international watchdog, the Forest Stewardship Council. That's something it's repeatedly failed. Vic Forests refused an interview with 730, but in a statement says it has complied with the law. The state regulator, the Victorian Environment Department, says the only legally enforceable map is a low-resolution version printed in the Government Gazette. And it is not possible to determine that timber harvesting has occurred outside the boundaries of the allocation order.
Vic Forest has supported this town for the last 20 years, you know, and ever since we've had Vic Forest, you know, they've been a good supporter of this town.
Whatever side you're on, Shane Brooks just hopes that logging doesn't destroy his little patch of paradise.
Anything they do up there, that's right in the catchment of the Rubicon River, and it's a beautiful river, so you know, if it's not managed properly up there, then it's certainly going to affect the river down here.